Hello everyone and welcome to this Selenium Framework series. In this particular session, I will explain the base page, what is base page, why it is important, and why you should use the base page when you are working with the framework. So let's begin. In page object design pattern, every page of the application is represented by a page class. For example, if you are getting the page for the e-commerce website, so we have login page where we have all the locators and the actions. Similarly, for other pages like product page, then we have like cart page and so on. Now, if you notice over here, all these page objects have something in common. Like there are so many actions. It can be clicking on element, typing in the input field, getting text from the elements, waiting for the elements to load, validating the page title, the URL. So these are the common actions across all these species. So let me write it down, like clicking an element. So there are so many elements in the login page, login button where you need to click. Then on the product page, you need to click on add to cart button or the product button, product link. On the cart page, you need to add, remove the product. So there are so many web elements where you need to perform the click action, right? Similarly, there could be common action like typing text in the fields, then waiting for elements to load, and so on. Now, instead of writing these methods again and again in every page, so for example, in this page, you want to click on some button, so you are writing a method which will click an element, right? And similarly, there could be some elements in the product page where you need to again click on an element. Similarly, you have on the card page, you have elements where you need to click on element. Now, in one approach is that we should be writing all these. This means that we are writing this particular implementation in the login page, product page, and the card page. But the problem here is that now we are repeating the code, right? So in the page object model design pattern, instead of writing these methods against each page, because these are common, so we should write it once and reuse them. So instead of writing for each page, what I'll do is that I will move this to this base page, write it once, and then here I will call this one, right? So this is the purpose of using a base page here. So this class, this base page, basically it will be a class. It will contain all the reusable generic methods. Generic methods means like clicking on button, typing, so which are applicable across the different web pages in the application. That's why instead of repeating those in the different pages, we will be writing that in the base page. Now, why we need to do this? So basically, the first thing is that reusability, because we are writing it once and calling into different page object classes, right? Then it would be easier to maintain. So tomorrow is there any change? So we need to change on the one place instead of changing it for every web page, right? Then it is easy to read, so it will increase the readability. Then it will also easy to scale. So write once. So basically we are writing once and use everywhere. So if we want to use that in the login page, we'll use here. If we want to use in any other page or hundreds of the page, we'll be writing once and just using them where it is needed. Now, in terms of maintainability, obviously, if you change the locator strategy or the wait mechanism, update only in the base page. So if you have changing the waiting uh, strategy, so you simply go here in this base page and update. Let me write it here. Update wait strategy. So it's really easy to maintain, right? Easy to maintain because everything is organized. All the common actions are written inside this base page, which are applicable across the different web pages in the application, right? And obviously, it is easy to read because it is written in the base page, easy to read. And finally, it is scalable because when we are working on the large projects like any e-commerce website with the login, search and cards, this is really easy to scale over here. So easy to scale. So let me summarize this particular session about the base page. The base page is basically a base class, and as we are following the page object model design pattern, so we would be writing the different page object classes, like for the login web page, for the product page, for the card page, for the profile page, for the checkout page. So we are writing the page object classes for every web page. Now, problem, we need to understand the problem. Problem here is that there are some common actions like clicking on button, waiting for the element, right? Typing into a particular field. These are the common actions which might be used across these pages. So all these common methods which are generic in nature, which are used more than one web page, you need to move them into the base page, because if you are writing them here, so you are basically writing it multiple times. So when you're writing it multiple times, you need to maintain it multiple times. So if there are thousands of the reusable methods and there are 100 pages, so it's really hard to maintain those ones if they didn't change. That's why what we do is that we move all these generic common methods in the base page over here. And again, the purpose: reusability, maintainability, readability, and scalability.